Welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. And I am your host, Conrad Cushman, and we are here with a review of Smackdown Live. Hopefully everybody out there is feeling good. If this is your first time watching me and you enjoyed this video, please make sure you click the subscribe button down below. We are trying to get to that goal of 500. We got 32 days to go as we lead up to WrestleMania. And that's going to be a little bit after the fact, but let's try and get as close as we can to that 500 goal. Connor, what is going on? I see you in the live chat, my man. Hopefully things are well. Sports Talk Network, what is going on? I need some of your input, guys, on this Smackdown Live show. That promo at the end had me hyped. Had me hyped, bro. Let's get into it, man. The show tonight was live from Dayton, Ohio. Still the home state of The Miz. And we kick off the show with Shane O'Mac coming out. And Shane McMahon is ready to go, but he is new. He's not doing all the dance moves and jumping around. Shane McMahon's coming out and he's got a sour look on his face. Because Shane McMahon, as you guys will see in the highlight package shown in the beginning, beating up The Miz after he attacked him at Fastlane. Shane McMahon was the one who turned heel. Very shocked by this. I definitely thought it would be flipped the other way. And I still don't know how I feel about Miz as a babyface quite yet. But we'll see if it works. 89 ESR. Mark me down, quote me, whatever. If they Booker T WrestleMania 19 this moment, Kofi, I will never watch the WWE again. Big talk, big dog. We'll see, man. We'll get into that when we get to the main event, man. Oddball, what is going on, my friend? First time seeing you in the stream. Welcome. Let me send him a message in here. Glad to have you guys in here. Hopefully my frame rates are doing a little bit better. I saw that we just had a skip a second ago. Should be doing fine, though. Not sure what's the issue. I'd rather see Stephanie wrestle than Shane at this point. Don't disrespect Shane O'Mac, man. I think Shane's been overplayed a little bit. I agree with that. Shane came out and cut a very basic promo. Basically, he's tired of everybody using him, how to get promotions, how to get stock prices at whatever they want. I forgot what he said, but it didn't matter. Shane's tired of being used, and he is ready to show why he's best in the world. And he is fighting The Miz, it is announced, at WrestleMania. So it's official now, guys. Shane McMahon versus The Miz. I don't know how you guys feel about this new Miz babyface kind of role. I'm not used to it yet, so I don't know. Maybe it'll make sense once he's back. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. Oddball says, thank you, man. Hope you're having a good night. I am, sir. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you enjoy it, Oddball. I appreciate you being in here. Mr. Floodwater, why is Kofi so popular? Because he had a good showing. Oh, Mr. Floodwater, you stick around till the end. We're going to get into this Kofi Kingston stuff. So, we get to our first match of the night. It is a double tag match, I guess you'll call it. 4 versus 4. We have the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff Hardy versus Ricochet and Aleister Black. Matt Hardy tonight was supporting one of my favorite versions of him, the V1. Or is that the... I shouldn't do that on camera. But they ended up taking on The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, Rusev and Nakamura. Man, this was a better match than what I saw on Monday from Aleister Black and Ricochet. Maybe the chemistry was just better here. I'm not sure why. But New Day shows up and they beat down The Bar, Rusev and Nakamura. Good follow-up from Fastlane. When I first saw this, I did not put all that together that maybe New Day will come out and get their revenge. So, you got me, WWE. I was sleeping on that one. But the match ends in like a DQ. I'm assuming that the heels got the win in this one. Yeah, I was cool with it, though. We got some good action. The finish makes sense for a SmackDown show. Next, we have the Usos. They're cutting a tag team promo on everyone in the division that was just in the last match. And the Usos are coming with battle rap promos. I saw my good friend Wilfred say that they are doing poetry slam promos. No, Wilfred, they're doing battle rap promos. And back in the day, I used to have a little bit of a flow. So no free shows tonight, but yeah, they're cutting battle rap promos, and I like it. I think the Usos are doing a good job with it, and hopefully we see them versus the Hardy Boys at WrestleMania. I think that would be really good. Connor says, just calling it now, the Hardys are going to get one more title run before they retire. I hope so, Connor. They're one of my favorite tag teams, especially from the Attitude Era. Next. Oh, man, the promos were fire tonight. Let me just say that. The in-ring action on Smackdown was kind of, it was okay. But the promos, fire. So the first one was this Randy Orton, AJ Styles. Randy Orton comes out. He's running down AJ Styles for his quote, "This is the house that AJ Styles built." And he said, well, in 2002, while AJ Styles was wrestling in bingo halls and doing whatever, he was here making moves in the WWE. He goes through all the years. He said when AJ Styles was in Florida getting a tan with Dixie Carter, oh boy, it got pretty good. So the fans were all like, oh, one of those. And he's going through everything. And then AJ comes out and starts responding to him. And he says, oh, you mean your RKO? Your fake diamond cutter? And then the fans went nuts. They were just like, oh. And they just traded snaps back and forth. It was a funny set of disses right here. He accused AJ after of stealing things. He was like, oh, you guys have never stolen anything like you said I stole moves? And then he did one of these. And that was a good comeback by Randy. And I don't know if they're like working on these before or if they're freestyling them, but this was a good back and forth between these two. It shows why they're both in the main event scene. Now, after he said that, Orton says that this is his house, you son of a bitch, and rent is due. And this is going to be a good match, I think, at WrestleMania, man. It's got to be. Well deserved here. Let's see. We got some comments in here right now. Oddball, Mr. Floodwater, I am not a fan of Kofi either. Can't see him as a top guy. I'm not into his match style at all. I don't see him being a guy that could carry the show. Sports Talk Network has responded. I have never had Flo to do a battle rap, LOL. The Usos are great though for sure. Orton and Styles segment was the best part of the show tonight. Ooh, I think that got bumped to second best for me. I don't get the change after one match. Michelle did the Styles Clash in WWE first, by the way. Knock it off. AJ was doing it before Michelle McCool Flood. Jesus De Leon, what's going on? Team Kofi, baby. Yes, sir. Smackdown was not built by Styles. It was doing fine before him and just fine after him. Same as Kofi. I'm not into this whole flyer style. Orton for me on this one. All right, Oddball. He has laid his stake. Now, we get another talk about the Harlem Heat. I just wanted to let people know Harlem Heat was an important part to WCW. They are a 10-time tag team champions. And Booker T, because of this, will be a two-time WWE Hall of Famer. Hulk Hogan. We won't bring that up, but I'm sure he'll have to address that on the Hall of Fame stage when it's time for Harlem Heat to take it. But Harlem Heat's one of the best tag teams of the 90s. Easily. Make sure you guys go back and check out some of their matches. Even the ones with the Nasty Boys and stuff. Harlem Heat always shined in the ring. We get Asuka versus Sonya Deville. This is basically the exact same match she had with Mandy Rose. They're teasing dissension between these two. Asuka wins by submission after another apron botch slip or whatever, and it looked like Mandy did it on purpose this time. Whatever. Maybe they're going to play it off like it wasn't, but Asuka lock, Sonya Deville taps out, and they're teasing this dissension, even though they just started a women's tag division. Remember what I said earlier in my reviews, guys, about the women's tag division has to matter? Why are you getting rid of teams already, and you just started this? It's because they want to push Mandy. Remember who said it first. We get an Iconics promo. I thought this was better because they tried to be serious, but I still dislike the Iconics. They're so... turn the channel. Like, why am I watching this in front of people? But that's just my personal opinion on it. We are getting some more comments in here. You want to throw hands, Floodwater, Connor says. I said WWE, laugh out loud. I covered myself. Jesus says, I'm hyped for next week. Why are you hyped for next week, Jesus? Tell me in the chat, baby. Sports Talk Network says, I agree, Oddball. Connor says, one of the best WCW tag teams of all time. I can get behind that. If memory serves me well, Crash Holly pulled off the Styles Clash before AJ made any name for himself. Thank you, Sports Talk Network. Oddball, we're going to have to go to the dates on that one, because I thought Crash was doing that after the fact a little bit ago, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. Could be. Let's see what else we have going on here. Becky Lynch comes out. She cuts a promo saying that she's ready to be in the match with Charlotte and Ronda, and she played Ronda like a fiddle. And Charlotte comes out there talking about how she's the queen, bow down to the queen. She's the female version of Triple H, basically. Yada, yada, yada. I've become very disinterested in this match due to the promo work of Ronda Rousey. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Let's see. Okay, it showed your thing there. So, yeah, they're basically hyping up their match for Mania. Are you guys still hyped for this Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, Charlotte match? Like, I don't know. It lost a little bit of its luster to me, and I'm more invested in another match, which we'll talk about still later on. Brian and Rowan, are announced that they have a tag team match tonight. They really don't say who it's against until it's time, but you got to figure it's Kevin Owens, and I figured Mustafa Ali. They're the only two around right now who have beef with them. So then we get another tag match. This was filled with tag matches tonight. Rey Mysterio and R-Truth versus Andrade with Zelina and Joe, Samoa Joe. This match went by really quick. I was kind of not paying attention, and Rey Mysterio beat Samoa Joe with a roll-up. You would think that this is going to have to involve the United States Championship soon now. So I'd like to see what happens with that. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to get a big U.S. title match at WrestleMania with all these guys. Hopefully. Maybe they'll do a ladder match or something. They have to put some prestige back on the United States title. They haven't had enough focus on it, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm about to agree about Iconics. It's just dreadful. I wish they would stay away from the reality TV thing. Yeah, they're... 89 ESR said, holla, holla, holla. It's the Mac Militant. I can't even do that dance that he does. Good old Teddy, man. I miss Teddy Long. Fourth match of the night. Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali versus Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. I did not think this was as good as their triple threat match at Fastlane. Rowan was in there. He slowed down the match a little bit, but overall they did some good work for the time they were in there. Rowan hits that face slam on Ali. It looks like a claw, so they're calling it the Iron Claw. He picks you up by your face and slams you down with a choke slam. He got the win on Ali. No tag in. I feel like Kevin Owens has to turn heel. He feels too weird as a babyface. Am I the only one on that one? I don't know. I think Kevin Owens just belongs as a heel. I don't know. I'm not feeling this right now at the moment, but maybe it'll pick up. I don't know. He's just there at the moment. Connor says, I'm expecting a ladder match with Joe, Ray, R-Truth, and Andrade. That'd be dope. 89 ESR says, how do you feel about face Kevin Owens? I get the vibe he's hiding something sinister. Me too. I thought tonight, after Ali didn't get the tag, that Kevin Owens was going to turn on him potentially, but maybe they're saving that for WrestleMania, maybe the night after Mania, or maybe even the Smackdown after Mania. Who knows? Yeah, so they just built up Daniel Bryan some more. No surprise there. Now we get to the main event segment. Exactly what I wanted to talk about. Vince McMahon is going to offer Kofi Kingston his WrestleMania opportunity. They built this up all night. This was the big deal of the show. This is what the show was centered around. Vince McMahon, Kofi Kingston, they get out there to talk about their WrestleMania opportunity. New Day comes out, and I thought they cut a good promo. And this is Big E and Xavier Woods' part when they were just saying, Kofi Kingston's been here for 11 years. How can you do this? And if you guys don't know, they are playing off of the race tensions without saying it, which is a smart thing to do to get people into this. And they're playing off of that to hopefully get more people behind Kofi Kingston. And it's kind of an underdog storyline, too, for where Kofi has always been. Oddball. Fun fact about Teddy Long. He used to slap Al Snow around in training when Al Snow stepped out of line. Apparently, he rules his training with an iron fist. Holla. I did not know that, my friend. Face Kevin Owens is strange, Flood says. I agree. But back to this promo. So, after Xavier and Big E and they all say their part, Vince McMahon tells him he doesn't think he's the guy. He said, one day, Kofi, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame, but as a member of New Day. And Kofi Kingston then started speaking. He said, hey, I don't want you guys to get fired on my behalf. Kofi starts talking passionately. Real emotion actually coming out of him. And he said, for 11 years, I've been with this company, and I have never once complained. 11 years, Kofi Kingston has never asked for anything. He has never complained about missing stuff with his kids, weddings, missing his son's tooth coming out. A whole bunch of stuff he starts running through. And it made you, the women in the crowd actually did one of the, it sounded like they were sad for the guy. But Kofi Kingston always has done a hell of a job while working for WWE. Now, I'm going to finish this and then we'll get into the Kofi Kingston stuff here at the end. And Robert, I agree. That segment was fire, bro. You can't beat the raw emotion of Kofi. And I will have Robert in the chat. The mod 89 ESR is my witness. I have been a Kofi fan since 2008, since day one. I've been a huge Kofi Kingston fan, and I think he deserves this. I'm going to get into why. Now, afterwards, Vince McMahon says, I'll give you an opportunity. All you have to do is defeat Randy Orton, who showed up out on stage. And then he said Samoa Joe, who came out after that. Then the Bar came out, and he said, and those two as well. And then he said, and Eric Rowan. So now, next week, he's going to be running the gauntlet against 5 people. Kofi Kingston has to defeat 5 people to face Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. Will he be able to? And then a fight breaks out with the New Day helping Kofi. And it will make things interesting. Can Kofi run the gauntlet one more time to earn a shot at WrestleMania? Well done. I like it. If I wasn't a Dirt Sheet fan or someone who's been watching for a long time, you could believe that Kofi might be in trouble with this. Because there's a lot of top quality people in there. Robert says, or excuse me, Connor was first. Connor says, am I the only one who thinks Ali should have a title run really soon? I don't know if he's ready yet, Connor. He's good. I think you could have did something with him turning on Kofi after the fact, saying you stole my spot, but I don't know if they still have that in there or not. Let's see. Robert says, Kofi earned that spot tonight, even if it's just temporary. I don't expect it to last long, but I'm enjoying the ride. Kofi's a great worker and deserves a title run. I feel bad because all this was supposed to be Ali, but hey, stuff changes in the climate, Robert, like you said. I agree. Ali got messed up by Orton. It happened. He was injured for that week. Kofi filled in. Kofi did a hell of a job. And Kofi's story is more organic, I feel. Would Ali be in this exact same position? I don't know. That's tough to say. Perhaps. I think he'd be more over, but we don't know. I like Kofi, Flood says, but he's been a mid-carder favorite of mine. I don't see him being a main eventer. Once the XFL starts up, we'll get more of what we want, LOL. Stop it, Rob. Stop it. All right, guys. So here's what I'm going to say about the Kofi Kingston thing. I'm probably going to mention this on my podcast tomorrow. If you check in the description box, if you have an iPhone, go to Apple Podcasts, type in Everything Pro Wrestling. Same thing in Spotify, Google Podcast, TuneIn, Stitcher, Podbean, wherever you guys want to look it up. Type in Everything Pro Wrestling and subscribe. I put out that fire every Wednesday for you guys. And I got some interesting wrestling news topics that we're going to talk about tomorrow. But with Kofi Kingston has been one of the better people in WWE since his debut in 2008. The man defeated Chris Jericho. He had a great mid-card run. But when he started getting that run against Randy Orton in MSG, when he did the boom drop through the table, Kofi Kingston was on fire. And WWE did something that they should have never did. They took the rug from underneath Kofi. If you go back and watch a match where Randy Orton yelled, stupid, 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 that was the end of his push because he made one mistake in the ring that Randy Orton, in my opinion, over-exaggerated. And Kofi is still a great performer, and nothing about him has ever changed because of that. He made one mistake, and he was new onto the main roster. So, does Kofi Kingston deserve this? Absolutely. And does he deserve a shot at actually being in the main event? Yes. Kofi Kingston 100% does. He has busted his ass for this company in ladder matches, traveling all over the world. He even has helped get over Xavier Woods, Big E, and they've done it collectively. And I think that those two are talented stars as well that WWE is missing the boat on. They have dominated the tag division. Longest reigning tag team champions. They took that away from Demolition, a record that was held for years. And Demolition should be in the Hall of Fame, by the way. Don't get me started about that. But Kofi Kingston is really good, and I'm not going to let anybody take anything away from him. I absolutely think Kofi deserves this spot. Hashtag KofiMania. He deserves it. Let's see this guy get a run with the belt. I think it'll be a great WrestleMania moment. I will be running around like crazy when that happens, or if it happens, I should say, at WrestleMania. And I'll be very happy with it, guys. But we're going to see what you guys have to say here before we get ready to kick out of here. And let's see who was in the chat. First off, big shout outs to Connor, Sports Talk Network, Mr. Floodwater, 89 ESR, our new friend, Oddball. I'm glad to have him in here. Thank you, dude, for joining us tonight. Jesus De Leon, one of my favorites from the EPW group. Always someone who was in here supporting. Thank you, man, for making it in here. And did we get anyone else? I think that's it. And if you joined us and you didn't type in the chat, thank you too. I appreciate you guys coming in here and supporting the Everything Pro Wrestling brand. It's a show by the fans, for the fans. We have a lot of podcasts out here talking about past things that happen in wrestling with wrestlers on it. What about the fans' point of view? And that's exactly what Everything Pro Wrestling is trying to bring back to the forefront of the wrestling community. So if you guys want, make sure you give me a follow down here on Twitter at EPW Show. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Help me get closer to that 500 goal. I would really appreciate it. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video. And can I just say something about this picture with Mrs. Dad? That's funny. That's funny as hell. Shout out to Rob for getting me that picture so that I can have this up for the background. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. And I'm writing in the chat. And good night. Bang.